Hello ladies and gentlemen. Today we are going to throw together something that is going to be very easy to put together, but is going to be delicious. And I am going to call this my Dorito Burrito Casserole. And let's see, kind of go over the ingredients, but I might add some to this at a later date as we go along. I got 24 ounces of sour cream, a jar of jalapeno peppers, 1 can of red beans, these are 15.5 ounces, 1 can of sweet corn, I don't see the weight on there, 15.25 ounces that I have drained and got in this bowl right here. 2 cans, these are 10-ounce cans of diced tomatoes and green chilies. I found this Hatch brand on sale at Walmart. There was only $1 a can versus the Rotel, so we're going to be using the Hatch brand. And some taco seasoning. 1 very large yellow onion that I have chopped. And 2.5 pounds of ground chuck, and bag of Doritos. Now this time I am going to use the spicy sweet chili because those are my favorite Doritos. So that's the flavor I'm using, and that is a party size. So let's get started by softening up our onions a little bit. Just a splash of oil in there. And let's get our onions going. We're going to give the onions a head start before we add our ground beef. Alright, so I sauteed these onions for about 5 minutes on high heat. That's just to give them a head start. So let's add our 2.5 pounds of ground beef. We'll just get this browned up, and I'll be right back. Alright, so we cook that on high for about 10 minutes. It's nice and browned. And we're going to add 2 tablespoons of minced garlic to that. Let that just cook for about a minute, just to get the aroma going in there. Oh yeah. All right. Let's take the heat off of that. Now I'm going to take this over. We're going to drain the excess fat off of this, and I'll be right back. Alright, there we go. Now let's add our 2 cans of undrained diced tomatoes and green chilies. And I have a 1/4 cup of my taco seasoning mix. That is equivalent to about 1 packet if you buy it in the packets that we're going to put in there. Let's get that mixed up a little bit. We didn't go over the top with the seasoning mix on this because the Doritos has got seasoning in it. Our diced tomatoes, it has a lot of seasoning flavor into that. And we're going to put jalapenos on top, but really the Doritos are going to make up for what we wouldn't do with 2 pounds plus of ground beef. So let's put this back on medium high. Press start. And we'll just let that cook for a minute or 2 until that thickens up a little bit. The juice from those tomatoes. Alright, so we let that simmer for a couple of minutes. So let's go ahead and add our beans and corn to that. One can of corn, 1 can of red beans. Get that all stirred in. Oh yeah, now we're getting somewhere. Yeah, it's gonna be good. I ever tell you guys I love sweet corn? We'll let that simmer away while I get ready for the next step. Alright, let's turn the heat off on that now. What I have here is my 24-ounce tub of sour cream. We are just going to incorporate that into our meat mixture here. The heat is off. Right. We'll just set that off to the side for now. Now, I bought 2 pounds of pepper jack, Monterey Jack cheese with jalapeno peppers. I'm not sure that I'm going to use the whole 2 pounds, but I didn't want to come up short because I want a lot of cheese. So what we're going to do is I am going to start with 1 pound, and as we assemble our casserole, I will decide if I need more cheese or not. So let's get this pound of Monterey Jack pepper jack cheese grated. I'll be right back. Alright, so there's the cheese grated. So let's get to assembling. I'm going to spray the bottom of my 2 9 by 13 inch casserole dishes with spray, non-stick spray. Now, I have a pot of my Mexican rice that I made earlier. Now, I will leave a link in the first pinned comment below to my recipe for this Mexican rice with black beans. If you guys haven't tried it, it is so easy and it is delicious. It is gorgeous. So that is what's going to form the base. Let me fluff that up a bit. It's been sitting here a while. That is what's going to form the base of our casserole. And that's going to give it the John and Bibbs signature. So we're going to split this. That's 1 pot of the casserole. So we're just going to split that in half of the rice. So we're going to split that in half between the 2 dishes. Just kind of flatten it out a little bit. Let's start with our Doritos. Now we're going to gently crumble these over and make a nice little layer of Doritos on there. You can use whatever flavor you like, but I am particular to sweet chili. So that's my Dorito of choice. Alright. Now, let me get a ladle. Now we're going to ladle about half of our meat mixture over this. Alright, then we're going to take half of our grated pepper jack and sprinkle a nice layer on there. Alright, so now for another layer. Gently crushed Doritos. Alright, now we're going to spoon on the remainder of our beef mixture. Now I have preheated my oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. We'll take the remainder of our 1 pound of pepper jack and spread that over the top. Then we'll decide if we need a little bit more. And we'll grate it up some more. All right, so for the recipe, 2 casseroles, we used 1.5 pounds of pepper jack. All right, now what I'm going to do here is open my jar of jalapeños, and we are going to kind of drain some of the water liquid off of those. This is going to be our garnish for the top of the casserole. Okay, so let's just put some of these on there. All right, there you go. We got those kind of pretty garnished. Now, I'm going to put this in the oven. I have a baking sheet underneath this in case they bubble over. We're going to say for 400 degrees for 30 minutes, but I want to keep an eye on it. We want that cheese to be beautifully melted and bubbly, but we don't want to burn it. So just keep an eye on it. I'll come back if I remember. I'll let you guys know what the length was in my oven. And I think I'm going to have to break down and turn the air conditioner on. I've been trying to put it off this year as long as possible, but it's getting hot in here. So I'll see you when these come out of the oven. Ooh-wee, this looks good. Now, I put that in the oven for 30 minutes, and that looks just about right. Everything looks hot, and cheese is melted, and I'm going to get a nice picture for you. All right. So now we're going to let this cool down, and once it's cooled down, we'll tray it up and dish one portion up for my dinner. I look forward to this. This looks gorgeous. I think this is going to be a hit. All right. We'll see you once this cooled down. I'm going to get that air conditioner back on. Makes too much noise when I'm recording. All right. I've let this cool down a bit. I'm going to cut me out a piece now. Ready for the reveal? Oh man, does that look good? That looks good. And we are going to set that to the side. We're going to come back and eat that in a minute. But first, we're going to go ahead and tray up 3 trays of 2.5 pounds for my freeze dryer. All right, there's 2.5 pounds. Let's get that divided into 10 squares. Just like that. I got 2 more trays to do, and I'll be right back. All right, so we got 3 trays, 2.5 pounds each, divided into 10 squares. We'll get these, let them finish cooling down. Then we'll get them into the freezer, get them frozen solid. Once they're frozen solid, they'll be going in the freeze dryer. And next time you see them, they'll be coming out of the freeze dryer. Now, there's what I got left over. Not bad, huh? You know, that makes John a happy camper. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh man, that is beautiful. That is 100% beautiful. Oh yeah. Man, cheesy. The rice is a perfect addition to this. The vegetables, your corn, your beans, red beans, that sour cream. Oh man, this is just so good. those jalapeños, just pop it off. Your family are gonna love this. You guys gotta make this and let me know what you think. This is absolutely gorgeous. I am not gonna have any problem polishing all that off, let me tell you. On my own. All right. Oh yeah. I'm tickled to death with the way this came out. All right. So we better get this freeze dried, and we'll see how it comes back freeze dried. But fresh, that's the bee's knees. You guys are gonna love that stuff. What we call it? Dorito Burrito Casserole by John and Bibbs. Y'all love it. You'll just love it. All right, you guys, there we go. 40 hours in the freeze dryer, and my Dorito Burritos are ready to package. So let me just make sure those are all individually separated. And we are going to do my standard 3 packs, 3 squares per meal pouch. So let's pick up 3 of those squares. I'll gently crumble them as I put them in the bag. Just like that. Get my crumbs all in there because that's all flavor. We'll set aside. I'll get these done and I'll be right back. Alright, so we got those all bagged up now in my meal pouches. 3 squares per pouch. So let's get our 300cc O2 absorbers ready. And we're going to drop 1 of those in each pouch and zip it shut. Just like that. Let me get that done real quick and I'll be right back. Alright. Light has gone out. These are ready to seal up. We'll get that done and I'll be right back. There we go. Those are sealed up. What we'll do, we'll leave these sit out for a day or two, just make sure they stay sealed. And then we'll put them away for long-term food storage. And I will be back probably later this evening for our dinner. We'll have one of these Dorito bowls. Now the fresh ones, you saw I had a lot left over. That didn't last a week. I ate all of that. I didn't get any of it in the freezer. I ate it all. That was delicious. So this is hopefully going to come back just nice. All right, I'll see you then. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for dinner. So let's have some Dorito Burritos. My O2's over and a nice full pouch. Now, let me get my timer ready. Now we're going to start off with my 3/4 of a cup because we use 3 squares, but we may need to add more because it seems to me like when I have rice I do need to add more, but I don't want soggy rice, so we are going to start off with our 3/4 of a cup. Alright, that's 3/4 of a cup. Let's get that zip shut. I'm going to flatten that out, I think. Let that sit for 2 minutes. I'll be back in 2 minutes. All right. Just missed that. Let's give this a stir and see where we're at on the water. We'll leave it like that for now. Get that shot one more time. Flatten it out. And let that sit for 2 more minutes. Alrighty, there we go. That is my total of 4 minutes. And so far we've used 3/4 of a cup of water. Give that one more stir. We'll see if we mix in. I don't want my. I just, one of my pet peeves is I do not like soggy rice, so I don't want to add too much water. Oh yeah, that came back nice. So let's dish this up. Now it ain't gonna be as pretty as it was in the layered casserole, but I can assure you it's got all the taste. Alright, I'm going to dig in here real quick, but I want to try something else in a minute. There's a nice little fork full with some, I see some corn and everything in there, ground beef. Oh yeah. All that flavor of that fresh casserole in a pouch that you can eat from in 15-20 years. And by I just got a little bit of a crunch there. I don't know if that was a jalapeno or was that a bit of the Dorito. Try a little piece of Dorito right here and see what happens. Yeah. So by going sparingly on that water rehydration, not overdoing it, the Dorito still got a bit of a crunch to it. That's a bonus, because it didn't even have that in the casserole, to be honest. The fresh casserole. I'll come back in a minute. I got something for you. I am going to take Rhonda Boston suggestion, and she's been a viewer of mine and a supporter of mine way back from the beginning, so I appreciate her. And she was saying how she liked everything in a tortilla, and we've been doing a few dishes that she said would look good in a tortilla. We're going to put this some of this in a tortilla and have a real burrito. Now obviously in an emergency situation you might not have a tortilla with you, and this tastes great without the tortilla, but I bet you it's going to be really good in a tortilla. What do you think? I'm not going to be stingy on that tortilla burrito. Let's wrap that guy up. We ain't got to the filling yet. I didn't get nothing on that edge. Oh man. That is gorgeous. That's definitely the way to eat them if you got a tortilla laying around. Thank you, Rhonda. Great idea. So, last week's video we did a burrito bowl, and we did everything individually. Totally painstakingly working to get that all packaged in different little envelopes and rehydrating each little separate item and then presenting each little separate item. Totally really a pain. Now, I think you guys will agree. Number one, this recipe's better. It's got all the fixings in there, including jalapenos and real cheese. But number two, you don't really lose a lot in the presentation, I don't think. I mean, sure, it's all mixed together, but you still see the individual ingredients in there, and it fits on a burrito tortilla perfectly. So I'm going to finish this off camera and move on to the next video, but I really want to hear your guys' feedback on this. Let me know what you think. It's the way to go, isn't it? And that's an original for me. It's called I'm going to call it Dorito Burrito by John and Bibbs. I'll see you next week.